started playing with my friends in a compound. Like it was, like the story was that small. Like I was playing in a, I also got selected for the national team, which was like I think it's a dream for every.
That was your moment.
So I started doing brides. I realized that I found my calling, and this is what I want to be doing for as long as I can. Because celebrity bride or it's an influencer bride, they are expected of a certain set of deliverables that come from brands they are working with.
Sure.
So I think that's that little additional thing that takes up time. We used the same flower for her baby shower as well.
Welcome to the Wedding Podcast Season 2. Marriage is the art of weaving two lives into one story. A journey, love meets understanding and promise that goes beyond the wedding day. Between the glam and chaos of the wedding planning, couples sometimes miss the conversations that actually matter. The ones about life after the vows. And while the wedding may feel magical, it's those small, honest talks that truly shape the journey. Today, we are joined by a couple who have been together for 15 years, now stepping into marriage, to share how they navigate through these much-needed conversations. We have with us, please welcome the bride and the groom-to-be, Shradha Luthra, the country's favorite makeup artist, and her uber-talented fiancé, who's a footballer, Nitesh Aswani. Welcome Shradha and Nitesh on the Wedding Podcast. Finally, I'm glad you all made the time to be here. And we try and get different kinds of couples here, people who are about to get married, people who've just gotten married. And what is interesting, or what rather I'd want to touch upon in this episode, is your love story and what it takes for two people to be together. So y'all have known each other from childhood, and what's that bond that really keeps y'all like united together?
So firstly, thank you for having us again. And
It's the first time we're doing something like
Amazing.
this, because he refuses to be on camera.
I'm so glad you could pull Nitesh and get him here on the podcast, because that's really the moment for us.
no, it's my debut as well. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we know each other since childhood, since we've been kids. It's not just a 15-year relationship. We know each other since we were probably 3, 4, or maybe
Really?
So she's been coming to my house for birthday parties, and we still have pictures of that.
How
Like
sweet.
we put it out recently on a story. She'd put it out, and then I was like, oh, we have a picture together at that time.
We have so many.
Yeah, but it came across and obviously for the world, they just know recently that we've been together since 15 years. But I mean, it's been a great journey.
Yeah, but as kids, you never must have thought.
Not at all.
And not even, I would think, in the 15-year journey.
No, in fact, as a kid, she used to hate me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
So basically, I was a very flashy kid,
Quite
back
the
then.
opposite.
Not right
now.
Not right now. As a kid, obviously, I was very flashing the small things, right? Like having a box full of erasers.
Yeah.
I used to flash.
I love the way you all said it in a synchronized way.
So I used to show off all this, I've got this, I've got that, but obviously I'm the complete opposite now. And she used to hate me for all this, that you're like
Just
this.
such an annoying boy. Just so annoying, and all about football and playing football and just that. His life for as long as I've known has just revolved around going to play football, and that's that.
And still is the same.
Excuse me.
But
you went to a girls' school, he went to a boys' school.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, for my audience, we went to the same school, Shradha and me. So that's another bond we found
just before starting
before starting this episode. So I know that little rivalry that the schools always had also with each other, growing in a girls' school and a boys' school.
Yeah.
So I'm sure at those times you never thought of anything.
Yeah.
But when you all realized over a period of time in the last 15 years that you all have been together, that y'all are for each other, what was it like then, and who made that first move?
Definitely I was the one who made the first move. and the spark, I think, was the first 5 years we didn't know that okay, this is gonna happen. Obviously,
Where
nobody.
is it going? Like,
Nobody knows about where you're gonna head
Yeah.
with this, but 5 years also is not a very.
It's a long
Yeah,
time.
it's a long time, and in today's time, if you tell someone 5 years also is a very. Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
like 5 years is a very, very big deal. But after that, I think both of us, at least I realized that that she's the one.
She's
for
the
me.
one
Yeah,
for
she's
you.
the one. And then my mind was set that and I was never going to like move around, do this, like explore options or anything as such. It was like only one, and we know each other inside out. Our
That's
career,
amazing.
and like we've seen each other grow.
Yeah.
Like when she was starting off being a makeup artist, when she was just starting, and I was like just starting to play football. My career was starting when we basically supported each other thick and like through we've helped each other we've seen everything basically
through the
at
journey.
this point. Yeah.
I think that's a very important thing, because I think today's times, couples who meet each other as friends or probably want to develop it further to the next step or think of getting married, they already have such preconceived notions that he should be doing this or she should be doing this. So because you all have come from two diverse and parallel worlds and accepted each other's worlds so gracefully, that's another beauty which is amazing. So how does that feel? Because you come from the glam world, where you are always doing things with brands, makeup brands, with magazines and all of it, being the top-notch, bridal makeup artist in the country, and you come from this discipline. And so, how do these two worlds come together? What have you learned from him, and what have you learned from her?
I think I've just learned being disciplined from him. Like you said, he's super disciplined. So I feel like somehow you gather energy with someone who's around you, and the way they perceive things. So I think just being very determined, being very disciplined, and going all out for something you're chasing for is just something I've learned from him over the years. And it's also, I think, shaped me as a person, because we've grown up together, right? So I think that's also kind of shaped me and my beliefs. I feel like we have the same sort of beliefs as people. We're very private people, and we have the same beliefs. So I think that's really like sort of helped in just.
What have you learned from the Queen?
So the Queen has taught me to, she's got the emotions out of me, because initial stages I was not a very emotional person, not expressive and not having a lot of emotions, straight cut to the point, like if this is it, this is it, not beating around the bush.
Yeah.
So I mean, being with her, and I think for the rest of the world it's still the same.
Yeah, but with her you're more expressive.
Yeah, with very expressive, not more. I think very expressive with her and very emotional towards her. But rest of the world, it's like still the same. Nothing has changed.
It's so amazing how a man can really change for the woman he wants in his life. Now it's really amazing.
But that's the joke, when I go out to play with my
friends must
friends,
be really pulling
and
one.
then they're like, boss, when you play with us, you're like you're like an animal with us. Like you're screaming, you're yelling, you're fighting, and then when you're with her, you're like a baby. Like you don't say a word, you just say yes, no problem. Your pitch is so low. Like it's you're like completely two different personalities when you're like, but at the same time,
But that's how one should be also. I think in your private setting.
Yeah, you need to be like that. You can't be like a crazy whack job person outside and inside. You have to balance it out.
Also in today's world, I feel, Nitesh, everybody has to lead dual lives.
Correct.
Because there is this private inner circle we all have, and you're so different with your family and your closest, and there is this whole persona that you are outside of that. Given the fact that both of you all deal so much with people at different times. And one common factor that I see between the two of you all is both of you all touch lives very differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
You enhance and make their big day bigger.
Yeah.
You transform their lives.
For good.
And I really want to dive into this with Nitesh before I get to questions with you, Shradha, because I have so much to talk to you being in the same industry. But with Nitesh, I really need to understand. You started as a footballer, and today you are running an academy. Plus, you also transform people in their health journey.
Correct.
So tell us a little more about that story.
So to make it more interesting, I would start with saying that I started off playing cricket. Like that's.
Oh, really?
But like every kid in the country would.
And like
is
being
like
in India.
Yeah, like you're like a cricket fan
Yeah,
at all. You're
yeah.
you're born, you're
Yeah.
raised, you're only watching cricket.
Yeah.
Like, and back then there was Indian football was
Yeah.
not this big. There was no ISL. There was no glamour into it. Now glamour has come into the picture. Like now the sport is growing. So like, I was like any other kid trying to play cricket, trying to make it big. But there was one coach when I was playing cricket. He had left the scar in my dream that he hated me so much. He never used to make me play, and I was like bro, what's your problem? And then he just made me sit in one place, and then I started hating. And eventually I started hating the sport, And that time I was in 7th or 8th grade. So then I started hating the sport, and then my friends started calling me. They said, "Why don't you start playing football?" Because I was always very athletic.
Yeah.
But in my younger stage, I was a little fat. Then I started just being very active. Then I eventually lost weight.
Yeah.
I got very active while playing, and then I became very athletic. I started going to the gym, and then my friends told me, "Why don't you start playing?" And I was very late to the game. Like all my other friends they had the advantage
yeah.
to.
Start earlier.
And I was very late to the game. Started playing with my friends in a compound. Like it was, like the story was that small. Like I was playing in a garden, and my friends told me, "Why don't you come and start playing?" Then they told me, "Why don't you come for a school selection?" So I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." And in fact, I got selected. I started playing the same year we won the title. There's this thing called MSSA. We won the league the same year.
Wow.
And then I became the sports captain in my school. Then I led my own team, and that same year we didn't have a coach. And I took over the entire school. And at that age, like at the age of 14, I took the entire responsibility that I'll handle my own school team. And first I became the sports captain. Then I became my football team sports captain.
Wow.
Then I held the trial selection all by myself. That I'll just take over everything. So a young kid alone with no experience decided to take over the entire school, and we had our challenges. And the first game that we played, I scored a goal, and that's where all the media and everything came. And that for a 14-year-old, it was very surprising. The next day you're the famous kid in school, that you're in like every newspaper possible. I'm saying, this is, and it was a very good feeling to have that you're in every newspaper. People are talking about you, that this guy is a new prospect, and I got the growth in a very short period of time. Like the biggest difference between me and others was because I always wanted it more, and the hunger that I had, very few people had. And I don't know, as a kid only I had that in me, that the drive was always there.
Sometimes these adverse situations, like you just mentioned about that coach not being the most encouraging teacher or coach for you, has brought a very different and a bigger side out of you. It's very interesting to these stories always move me, that it can either make you very negative or it can make you super positive, which happened beautifully well for you.
So there was also one more incident where my father had gone to one academy when I was a kid. So he was searching for a football academy, and then he said, the coach looked at me, he's like, "No, you can't play, your son cannot play." And I was like, "Okay, and my dad walked away. He said, "Okay, my son is not capable enough to be in this academy." I said, "No problem." And coming back to the same circle, 4 years down the line, I beat that same coach's team. And then he came and told me, and then I went and told the coach, I was that guy who you said no to me and my dad. So it was a full circle moment, and that's the time, then I started playing for clubs. Then I played Bombay, I played Maharashtra. Then I started, I also got selected for the national team, which was like I think it's a dream for every.
That was your moment.
Yeah, I think when I wore the national team jersey, I felt, I had goosebumps.
Just like, thinking about it, you feel like that.
The national anthem is going on, it's a very big, it's a moment.
It's a big moment.
It's a dream for every.
You knew him that time, you all were friends?
Yeah, when he was talking about those newspaper articles, I still have the cuttings.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've been dating since.
Oh.
So I have all of those, and it feels like yesterday. It doesn't feel like that long ago, although it's been 15 years.
But it's great that after your journey like that, you're giving it back in so many ways of creating an academy. And I do know, Nitesh, I know you don't talk much about it, but I do know that you also help underprivileged children to live their dream.
I feel because I've had the kind of journey where I've seen people, and I've been in the setup for so many years where I've seen talent who couldn't nurture it. They couldn't make it big because of financial issues. So because now since I have become a coach, it's been so it's my job to make sure that there shouldn't be any, but I don't do it for every kid who's not hardworking. I only do it for the kids who are hardworking and they deserve it. So I try to make sure that I go all the way for them to make sure that they don't have any financial issues, or there should be every platform given to them that they will give their everything, and the day they make it big and play for the country or whatever that they do, I think I'll live my dream again.
Absolutely. I mean, not only their parents, you will feel so proud of it.
But I feel that's the only way. If the society is given it to
Are
you, I think
there challenges in our country yet between cricket, football? Is it a growing? I mean, how do you see the growth of another sport in a country which is so predominant with cricket as it's like
in India,
so glorified.
Yeah.
I mean, in India, we're still far away to have that. The youth that is there right now, they are more attracted to football, I would say. But still, there are people sitting at the top are doing a lot for cricket rather than football, but the generation that has come now are more attracted. If you ask any random kid walking, they'll say, oh, they'll know a club which a lot of people don't know. They'll say Al Nassr from Ronaldo, which back then nobody knew, like a club from Saudi, which kid will know? So kids are interested, but I feel in the next 10 years things are going to be in a very good position. We will be in a very good position because there's money coming into the picture. There's glamour coming into the picture, because in this country first glamour is important. So
that moves me to the glamour queen. You've been dressing up the best of brides, and you kind of bring things to life for them. Lot of pressure, I'm sure. It's not easy. How were your early days when you started?
So makeup came to me really organically. I started when I was 15 with hair. So I was doing cut color styling in my mom's salon, and I think I was just drawn to makeup. We didn't have academies back then. We didn't have makeup schools. There was nowhere I could go and train. So I started watching a lot of YouTube, which is why I say it came to me organically, because it came out of sheer interest for it.
Yeah.
And I would take on any project that came my way that just had me doing makeup. It was never about the money. It was just me getting to do makeup on someone, whether it's a shoot, whether it's somebody going for a party, somebody going for a wedding. I didn't care.
Yeah.
It was about makeup. And I think once I started doing brides, I realized that I found my calling, and this is what I want to be doing for as long as I can, because it's truly such a wholesome feeling to get someone ready, to see the whole process, and being a part of someone's big day. It's just a very, very wholesome thing to be doing, and I love it.
But I mean, something that I kind of understand, what you said, that you took on any job and every job that came. That's very important. I think it makes you super confident. It makes you understand different skin types, adapt to people differently, and makes your journey better ahead. Today's brides are very, very particular, Shradha, and I know that being a wedding planner, even before they finalize a wedding planner or they finalize a venue, or for that matter, even finalize the dates, the first thing they know is who's going to do their makeup. And I'm sure you get a lot of that coming your way, where brides DM, call you and say, we want you anyhow. How do you deal with these pressures?
Honestly, it's not a pressure. I feel like if someone really wants me to be a part of their big day, I'm so grateful for it. So it's never something that I'll take for granted. It's been years, but the second I hear something like that, or someone's reached out to me, I try to respond to a lot of DMs myself. Even yesterday, I had a bride DM me, and I was like, you know what, just text me, and I got on a call with her myself. So it's not something I'll take for granted, because I've always dreamt of this. I've always wanted to be in this space. And just, kind of having that sort of, getting that sort of love where somebody wants you to be a part of their big day is just a feeling I'll never get over. Like, it's just is just something I'm so grateful for, you know. So I'll never take that for granted.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you see doing in the next 4-5 years in this space? Like how Nitesh was a footballer and he's giving it back to the society. I mean, today I know this is your mainstream business and I'm sure you will continue to do. But is there anything that we should all know that you're doing in this space?
So I also teach. I'm an educator.
Oh, you do?
I actually started teaching after like a couple of years professionally.
Okay.
Because I knew that when I started my makeup courses, I needed it to be everything that I would have wanted when I started out that I didn't have. So I do a lot of pro makeup masterclasses, and I also have the Glam Squad, which is my team and artists who worked with me for years that now take on projects where I'm not available.
Okay.
So, you know, for brides who still want my aesthetic and either don't have my date availability or don't have that kind of budget, I can still send my team, and honestly I still work on their looks myself, even though I may not be there. But it's a lot of quality work. We don't have the bandwidth to take on so much, but I think I've always been about quality versus, you know, doing things off the whim. That's not me as a person. Like if I do something, it's all heart or nothing. So even if it's my team there physically, I know that I'm frantically like texting them, getting pictures. I've spoken to so many of the Glam Squad brides myself, and even with, you know, my students. I'm very like I'll follow them on Instagram and I'll keep messaging them because it's just like I feel responsible somewhere. So I think it's everything. Like I want to be teaching, I want to do more in education, I want to grow my team, and of course I want to be doing bridal makeup.
That's so true. Because in this space I feel, you know, scalability does become an issue after a point. So I'm glad you're working towards it and building this whole community that can cater to more brides. Now that we know a little bit about Nitesh and a lot about you, I want you all to touch upon that one thing that every couple who's going to get into this marriage and big commitment, the conversations that they should have. See, I know you all have known each other for a very long time, but it's also important for people who know each other for lesser time before getting married. What are those really key conversations, honest conversations that one should happen?
I think finances. Of course. Then I think where you both are emotionally and what you see yourself doing like in the next few years and how you want to look at your future together, whether it's about how you're living, where you're living, and
your goals.
Your goals and your dreams and what you've envisioned, you know, because I think everyone has their own vision individually and also as a couple. So where you see yourself together, I think what are your expectations? That's really important. Like, you know, what are your expectations? Because I feel like everyone does come with a set of expectations and it's very important to put it out. It can be really small or it can be really big. But I feel like communication there is very important. And I think just your, like where you are emotionally also, like mentally, emotionally, all of that, how you want to raise a kid, if you do want to have a kid, like all these are very important conversations to have beforehand.
And have you all had any conversations where you all had very distinctive opinions about it? How do you come to a midpoint?
I think we talk. I mean, there are a bunch of times we've been, you know, we've had different opinion about things. Because if it were up to Nitesh,
but I help you find the mid ground.
It's you.
It's always me.
There's always that one person who I think gives in a little more than the other.
It's me.
If it were up to him, we would have like a temple wedding or a court marriage and be done with it.
I'd be very happy.
Yeah, even now he tells me now engagement is done now, like we've had 3 events. Now let's do one small temple wedding and then done. But
you all have had 3 engagements.
3 events. 3 events.
Wow. Yeah, I think you should do a temple. No, but before the engagement, I have to go back to the proposal. I really need to know about the proposal. How did it happen? Because I know every girl wants this proposal to be perfect nowadays.
But did you like it? Did you like seeing the setup?
I loved seeing the pictures.
He's very proud of it.
I mean, really, the pictures look so amazing. That whole set with flowers is mind-blowing. So you have to tell us what it took you to get there.
Before that, I think I should tell you that he was sort of on the edge because I had told him that of course I'm going to marry you, but it has to be like a good proposal. Whenever you do it, however you do
That's
it, so
pressure.
yeah. And that's the only time I've put pressure on him because I'm not like.
I love
Listen,
that.
how demanding am I?
No, you're not. But she told me that if a proposal is not good, you have to do it again. And
Yeah.
I was like, no way.
Oh
man.
God.
So
that's some pressure, Shradha.
But that's
The
the
bar
only
was-
demand I've had.
Okay.
That's literally like in 15 years of our relationship, that's literally the only demand I've had because that's the only thing I can't plan.
Yeah.
So
So then now
so
tell
then
me.
everything's on me.
So how did you do it?
My first call was to her sister, and I was like, what should I do? I'm coming from a very like a background where I have no knowledge, nothing, and then then I got to know that she likes a different set of flowers, very specific flowers, and when it comes to her, everything is very like you can't. There has to be everything perfect. You can't just do whatever you want. Like for me, I just don't think if this cup is there like this, that's fine. For her, it has to be in a specific way. Angle has to be like that. So it's very different with her. Then I called her best friend. Then her best friend gave me a few ideas, and then I discovered about a lot of flowers in this process.
Like?
One flower that I'm never gonna forget all my life. That is blue specific hydrangeas, not dark, and it has to be light.
I just love that.
So that's how I got to
but
know
they're
about.
my favorite flowers.
Yeah.
So that's how I got to know about.
To all the grooms to be, take some lessons from Nitesh on how to learn about flowers, how to get the proposal right so that you don't have to do any retakes.
Yeah.
But I give credit to both of them. Her sister
Yeah.
and best friend made my life very, very easy. That and I think the process was very smooth for me. But the day when she told me that you'll have to do it again, that's the time I picked my phone up. I'm like, okay, I have to speak to them because I need some help.
Yeah.
So and then I spoke to her best friend saying that we have to plan in such a way that she doesn't have any clue of what's gonna happen, and obviously I'm sure.
Yeah.
At some point, I knew it was coming because we had our Roka date set in place. But I always thought it was going to be when we're traveling. Like I was very confident that it's not going to be in India, in Mumbai, and we were going to travel the next week. So I had like my, I had my outfits in place and like all of that. Like I was like, okay, it's going to happen when we're traveling.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect Bombay, and honestly, my best friend and me discussed everything. So like, general outfits and stuff. And she told me it was going to be a jewelry shoot for one of the brands that she handles. So she was like, no, I think you should wear this, and I gave her options, and I was like, okay, great. So I kind of thought that I was going for a jewelry shoot, and she was like, let's do a very cute couple thing, which I don't know how he agreed to, but at the time it was peak bridal season, so I didn't think much.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fine, I would never say no to my best friend for anything, but I was like, cool, like, let's do it. And she even spoke to me about deliverables and about, you have to post this and that. And I was like, okay for everything.
Yeah.
So, there was a very concrete plan of action.
Wow.
So I genuinely didn't
got
expect.
you.
Yeah.
But that was the only
Good
way I
story,
could corner
Nitesh.
into this. Like
Yeah.
there was no other way.
I should have known when I saw my sister. My sister flew in.
Yeah.
But she very conveniently said that it's for his birthday, which was the next day.
I think everything was so well planned. Nitesh, being a planner, I must give it to you. This was some planning that you put
No,
into
in fact,
this.
what I did not plan was one day before. The experience that I had was also once in a lifetime that
Oh my god.
which I would.
What was that?
He was happier about that than the proposal.
What was that?
No.
Yeah,
No,
Nitesh, come on.
I must know that,
So,
and everybody should.
There were two teams that had come down to play in Bombay, Real Madrid legends and Barcelona legends, and I have basically grown watching these superstars play on TV.
Yeah.
And they were like, two of them were my idols. And the hotel that we were staying in, and as I entered the hotel, I'm like, oh, they are here. Oh,
Yeah.
they're staying here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't
And-
know that.
Yeah, so I had no idea that, oh, they're staying here. And I'm like, oh, no way. So I have two things now. Two people are selling things. And obviously, she didn't know about the second thing. I knew about the first. And I'm like, oh, wow. I have
It's
to,
like the best day of my life after meeting.
and I have to figure out a way to, meet these guys. So I'm like walking around. Suddenly, their buses come. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. And then I meet these two guys. And, they are like my I started playing
Idols,
football
yeah.
because of them.
How amazing.
So that was like, these 2 days were like the most special days of my life.
I
Most important was the second day, but
Yeah.
first one was, you know.
I know you have to say that.
Yeah,
You're-
he has
no,
to
no.
say it, but even I know.
But I
No,
actually
but the
mean it.
pictures were so beautiful,
Yeah.
so emotional, so
Yeah.
lovely.
I got my dream proposal, so
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
Well done, Nitesh.
Yeah.
Well done.
But to be honest, like the actual pictures were the ones that were taken later, because through the actual proposal, I was only crying. So all the real pictures from the proposal are with me with my hands like this, because I was literally only crying. So I think that we did redo.
It's been a long time. You all have
Yeah.
known each other for 15 years.
But like I
and
said earlier, she's a very emotional.
I know. I mean, even if it was lesser time, I'm sure you would have those,
Yeah.
that kind of an emotion and tears rolling down.
Yeah.
But I think it is also somewhere, you know, this whole thing moving to the next step in your
Yeah.
life is a big one. Amazing. How are the families taking it?
They knew it was coming,
Yeah.
so all good. And I think my mom and sister, like, at this point, like Nitesh more than me. So they're really happy. Like, Nitesh is the son she never had. So
How
my mom is
lovely.
like obsessed.
And see, it's been 15 years, so our parents also were never like, you know,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
this, not that. So they are also very happy and comfortable with how things are.
Yeah.
So
What
great.
was that one tough point ever in this whole journey of 15 years where both of you all probably thought we might not move to the next step? Was there ever a point like that?
Was there?
But I think that
I mean, only if you'd like to talk about it, because I just feel it's also important for some of the, you know, couples or people
Yeah.
who want to move to the next step,
Yeah.
to know that if you ever reach a point like that, how do you really kind of overcome
Navigate,
it?
yeah.
You know, navigate it.
But I
But,
think
no,
this sort of situation, I think all couples come
Yeah,
across. It's not
it's not
just us,
picture
right?
perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
it
No,
can't
I
be.
know,
yeah.
but that's why,
Yeah.
because everything so far is looking so picture perfect.
No.
So I'm trying to,
No,
you know,
we've
yeah.
had our
We've
fair-
had, yeah.
moments.
Yeah. We've honestly, I think we've had fights, we've had breakups in between in these 15 years, because we were kids. So we've had our fair share of fights, but we've always come back to each other. So there have been, you know, those one-day breakups also. Yeah, like half-day breakups also. But then we've always, you know, we found our way back to each other, because I think the core of our relationship is actually friendship. So I think that's what's gotten us along this far. And if you ask me, it doesn't feel like 15 years, because Nitesh is genuinely my closest friend.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like it's been that long. Although like 15 years by the sound of it sounds like a lot, but it genuinely hasn't felt that long.
That's so amazing. Now tell me, in terms of the big day coming,
Yeah.
what is it that, I know you don't want to spill the beans and talk too much about it,
Yeah.
and but just few things that one should be mindful of, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, like we still have a while till we get married. But the Roka was a lot in terms of planning and putting together, because like I said, we had 3 events. It was going to be in Kashmir, and then the war happened, and it just didn't feel right to you know, proceed and do it there. The airspace shut down for a bit, and then we planned Missouri, we planned Oman, and then you know how much it would take to even plan this. And even though it was just 20 people, we wanted it to be a very wholesome experience for people we love, because it was, in the end, the idea was celebrating together, because it was as much their celebration as it is ours. So it just was a lot to plan it, and I'm very involved with the details, and you know, I'm very particular. So I feel like now I want to take some time to you know, just wait, and then we start planning the wedding next year. Not anytime soon.
That's amazing. Shradha, I have to ask you this because, you know, it's the wedding podcast, and people always love to know the kind of celebrity work that our guests do. So you've done Alana Pandey, you've done Alia Kashyap, and I don't know who others. I just remember these 2 names. How is it, you know, I mean, when you're doing, I know it's like, it's for you, every bride is important. I know 100%.
Agreed.
But is there pressure when it's bride who's in the public eye versus somebody who's not so much in the public eye, and how do you see this? What is the lens you see this from?
I think every bride, there's a lot of emotional, there's so much happening around every bride. So genuinely, I feel like in terms of what we do is the same for every single bride.
Yeah.
In terms of the looks, the only thing that changes is the content, because I think when it's a celebrity bride or it's an influencer bride, they are expected of a certain set of deliverables that come from brands they are working with.
Sure.
So I think that's that little additional thing that takes up time. It's also a little complicated in that sense, but in terms of work, I feel like the kind of makeup we do is what works for all sorts of cameras. It's long lasting, like there's a difference between bridal makeup and celebrity makeup, because the kind of makeup we do doesn't require touch-ups. At the same time, it's not makeup that looks like makeup, or that's what I specialize in. So I feel like that way it's the same, but I'm pretty sure like for them it's a little more pressure than other brides because they are more in the public eye.
Yeah.
But don't you think like every bride now wants that virality or wants to be also in public eye to some extent?
I think so. I mean, not all. I do have brides who are very private also.
Yeah.
And they do not want this to be all out there, and they don't want to be seen so much on the social media. But that's very few.
Yeah, that's very
more
few.
More often, everybody wants this.
They want their wedding out.
And I think everybody is also getting so inspired with what they see on social media.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get this all the time that this is a specific look that I want. This is picked up from Pinterest or from Instagram, and this is exactly the look that I would want to have, or this is exactly the setup or decor that I would like to have. And as a planner, I always feel, I tell every bride of mine that have your own story. And let it be your day.
Agreed.
And don't make it look like
someone else's.
So some get it, some don't.
But that's why like this is something I fully agree to, because I feel like I love curating looks.
Yeah.
So it's the little details that make the look your own. It can be a little flower in the hair.
True.
So anytime I see this flower Santini, I think of Alana, because we used it on her mehndi for her hair. And trust me, like there has not been a wedding where someone has not come up to me with that reference for that exact same hair. But I just try tweaking it in another way, because then it's not theirs anymore.
Exactly.
We used the same flower for her baby shower as well. But that was more wholesome because, from her mehndi, which was her favorite makeup and hair, to her baby shower, we kind of had the little sync. It was the same flower, the same kind of waves, the same bride to then mom, and then the same glam team. So it was a little more wholesome then, versus if someone asks me to replicate something, where most of the times it's something I've only done, but I just feel like I like tweaking it or changing things up so that it's theirs then. It's the little things,
also sometimes how do you put it across that that this might not go well with you. I mean, I'm sure you face those situations where you have to explain it in a manner where something else would be better suited for that bride.
Yeah, but I'm very involved in the planning of my bride's look, so I go through every detail.
Yeah.
So it's just that conversation we have beforehand, and we kind of come together to curate looks. So this is something I'll discuss and let them know ahead of time, so that we have like on the day off, it's all very smooth and they get their dream bridal looks.
Nitesh, you relate to all of this when we talk?
No.
I could just see Nitesh like, okay, this conversation's not for me. But,
but the amount of stories that I've heard in
I'm sure you know all of them.
I know. I think she shares everything with me. Like,
and you're a good listener. You listen to
you're experiencing
I think you're zoned out right now.
No. So, I mean...
See, now that I have to ask this to Nitesh. Nitesh, there's this bro code that all boys have. You have to give those 2-3 tips of how to handle a successful fiance or a girlfriend or a to-be wife. Something you have to give to all those men who are about to get married, some ambitious women.
I feel in today's time, you cannot have that man ego. If you support her in the best way possible, and you yourself are not you're secure in your life, I don't think you're going to have any insecurity with your fiance. If you know that you're doing well, it doesn't matter if whichever field you're successful in your field, you have to make sure that you are secure first. If you are secure, you're never going to have any insecurities with your own fiance, and the amount of success that she gets, I get very happy. So, and it's the same with her. The day I tell her something, that I have achieved something like this, she's always been the first person to, support me in every stage of my life.
So clearly be each other's cheerleaders, biggest cheerleaders.
It's never been a time where I've felt like, oh, she's getting such a big celebrity. And I'm the first person, I'm legit dancing. I'm like, boss, well done. Like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
So, it's not very difficult to be honest.
No, that's so true, and that's so important. I think everybody should feel so secure about it, and that's the only way. Going forward, I think marriages are going to last because women today are successful. They are more
successful than men at this point.
And men have to accept that and understand that. Once you kind of get that, I think you'll come together as a power couple. That's more of a power couple than anything else. I would think so.
See, now we are one unit, right? Like if my success is her success and her success is my success, so
that's the only sentence I wanted in this episode which you've given me. I love it.
That's how I think the relationships will last, right? Like if you're gonna be insecure about your own partner, I don't think
No. You really summed it up really well, because I think that's the most important thing for marriages to go forward and do well. Because like we always say that everybody is having these big weddings and dreamy weddings and all of it, but there's so much work that is needed to make the marriage successful. Thank you to both of y'all, but we are not done yet. I have this fun segment called the pink frame moment.
All right.
Which is where we are going to do this love story with little bit of a blush, a little bit of a banter, and maybe some, dropping some truth bombs here.
Okay.
So all you'll have to do is, without seeing each other, you'll have to point on each other, so we'll know if your answers are synchronized or not.
All right.
So, who's more likely to get angry first?
Okay, I'll take that.
Who calms down faster after an argument? Who's more likely to cry on the wedding day? Who's more romantic? Oh, you got to up your game there, Nitesh.
He gave me the proposal, that's it.
You've really, a big one you've achieved, Who's more likely to plan a surprise date? Who's the better dancer? Who's the better cook?
Neither.
I think
not applicable.
None of y'all. Whose playlist will rule the Sangeet night?
Please, Sangeet nights are about Bollywood and you're not Bolly at all. You can't, no. It's Bolly or nothing.
Yeah.
Nitesh, there's no debate there.
Okay.
Who's more likely to hog the spotlight?
For 100%.
Women are just leading it, man.
I'm very happy again.
But thank you guys. Thank you so very much for speaking your heart out and being a part of this podcast, because the whole idea here is for couples and for people to see and get some inspiration, know some real stuff, know people's story, and Shradha being from the wedding fraternity to know Shradha well.
Yeah.
And now know Nitesh well too.
No, thank you for having us. It felt so easy breezy to do this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This beautiful episode is officially over.
But the fun doesn't end here.
Like, share, subscribe to the Wedding Podcast.